Again, my name is Hannah Vierkamp. I'm the Creative Experience Resource Specialist at St. Louis Public Library, and today is the first in a new spring series of free online media production tools. And so we're going to be looking at different tools that we can use to record and edit and produce media without having to download any software, without having to buy any software. There are different applications and different limitations to these tools, but there are a lot of them out there, and some of them are appropriate for desktops, some of them are appropriate for mobile applications, and so we'll be looking at a different one each month. And the first one that we're going to look at today is Adobe Spark. So if you're familiar with the Adobe Creative Suite, it is a suite of professional software that includes Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and other professional software that you have to download, you have to subscribe to. We offer these for customers to use at the library and Creative Experience when it's open, but it's normally a paid tools. But they also offer a lot of free tools, and we're going to be looking at Adobe Spark today. Before we get into that, I just want to mention, if you're not familiar with Creative Experience, it is a digital makerspace at St. Louis Public Library. We have a space at Central Library, and in March last year, we opened a new space at Bar Library. Normally, when the library is open, right now we are closed because of the pandemic. We're only offering online services right now, but normally it's a space where you can go and use our computers. We have a recording room there, and we have a lot of free workshops and resources available for people to come and use. We also recently added a large format printer, 3D printers, that kind of stuff. So please check out our website and look at all the resources you can even access virtually. While we aren't doing in-person programs this year, we've started to do a lot of online programs that you can access on our YouTube channel. So you can join this series that will be held on the first Wednesday of, the third Wednesday of each month. You can register to attend them live, or you can watch them later on our YouTube channel. And in the fall, I did a series each month on different steps of podcasting, from the beginning development idea through interviewing and editing and mixing, and then onto hosting and distribution. So those are all available on our YouTube channels. Other staff have produced videos about our resources at Creative Experience, and then we've also had a lot of guest lecturers that have produced videos. So a lot of great resources there. Check out our YouTube channel. So again, this seminar, we're just, because so many of us are at home and we don't necessarily have access to all of those tools, we want to look at what's available for free. And the programs that I'll be highlighting this spring, you just need a browser. So even if you have a Chromebook, which you can also check out from the library for free, you can check out hotspots from the library for free as well. These programs will work on there. Some of them have mobile apps. Some of them you could use in a browser on a mobile phone. So for Adobe Spark in particular, we'll get into some of those particulars about it. So I just want to, I'm going to go through and I'm going to talk about an overview of this program, and then we'll do a demo. And if you have signed up for this, if you've registered for an account already and have this on your computer in front of you, feel free to log in and kind of follow along when we do that demo. The chat's open if you want to ask any questions as we go, and we'll also have some time for questions at the end. So Adobe Spark is a browser and mobile-based application, and it's really great for creating slideshows, it's creating short videos, social media. It's really geared towards social media posts. And then we're going to be talking about the free version. There is a paid version that is available, and it has additional features. And so if you are a subscriber to the Adobe Creative Suite, which has Photoshop, Premiere Pro, all of those applications, then you would have access to the additional features, which include templates and stock photos and things like that. There's some of that in the free version too, but there's more options in the paid version. But we're going to talk about all that you can do with the free version today. This is compatible for web browsers. And then if you have a mobile phone, they also make mobile apps, and they the web browser version can do a lot of different applications, including video, designing small website type of interactions, and then also graphic design and pictures, usually used for social media. When you're using the mobile apps, if you're using iOS, there are 3 separate apps for posting. The post one is used to create graphic posts and can also be used for animations. Page is for short web videos, and then video is for making videos, whereas the web browser that we'll be using can do some of all of these. Right now, Android only specifically has the Post app, but you can also use the browser version just by using Chrome on an Android type of phone. But we'll be looking at the desktop version today. And so to get started, you have to create a login for this software. And so if you have an Adobe ID, which you can get for free from using other Adobe products in the past, you can log in with that. You can also log in using Google or Facebook or Apple. If you use an email, then it automatically sets you up with an Adobe ID. So if you want to follow along, you can just Google Adobe Spark, and you can sign in with that if you haven't already. You're also welcome to just watch today and then come back and do those later. And then another thing you would want to do to get ready is to gather different photos and videos or assets that you want to use. There are some that are included free in the software, but if you wanted to use your own assets from things from your phone, you would want to get those onto your computer and have them ready where you can access them. And in the resources at the end of this presentation, I've shared several places where you can download royalty-free video, audio, and photos. And so I'll be using some of those for mine today. If you have video and audio that you take, or pictures that you take that you want to make posts out of, or make small videos out of, then that's a great way to go to. And then if you wanted to use the mobile apps, you would need to download those and install them on your phone. But we won't be focusing on that today. There are some limitations to the free versions. When you're using video, it will only add 30 seconds of video at a time. And so you can add consecutive amounts of 30-second videos, but they're really intended for shorter videos. So it's really kind of an ideal production tool for social media posts. You can use it to create longer videos, but it takes a little bit of workaround in adding them 30 seconds at a time. When you are using the free version, on the videos as well as the images, you will see a branded watermark. So you can see in the bottom right-hand corner here where it says Adobe Spark, and then at the end of a video, there's an Adobe Spark slide. So that is something that is a trade-off for using the free version as well. So I'm going to pull up the program and just kind of run through some of the different things it does and some of the things that we can do. Creative Experience has its own social media, and we started a series about a month ago where we're doing a thing called SLPL Creates, and we're having a different creative prompt each week and just inviting anybody to submit artwork in whatever medium based on the different prompts for the week, just as a way to have fun and keep creative through the winter. And so I thought we could create some things that go along with that theme. So the SLPL Creates prompt this week is aliens. And so I pulled I downloaded some clips from the Pralinger archives, which are located, I've linked to them in the resources. But the Pralinger archives is a collection of ephemeral film and that has been digitized. A lot of them are old advertisement films. Some of them are educational films. They're all in the public domain, and they've been collected by a person named Rick Pralinger, and they're available on the Internet Archive. And so it's just a great way to find old video that you can use to make collages out of. I've also downloaded some images of aliens and variations of that through one of the free image sites that I mentioned in the links. So I'm going to use those to kind of play around with. If you would like to pull up the program and follow along, you're welcome to just use whatever images that you can download to practice. Um, or you're welcome to just follow along. Does anybody have any questions before we move on to the demo? All right, we will just jump right in then. So I'm going to open Adobe Spark. Let me just do a switch my sharing. Okay, so when you enter into Adobe Spark, um, you get prompted with different types of projects that you want to make, and so and they give you a lot of different options that you can use, and so let's just do um, when you go to new, you can choose one of these things. So we're going to start off with video. We're going to go to new video, and you can skip through some of these things. It also gives you a lot of different templates if you wanted to use um, these different structures for creating a story. So for promoting an idea, telling about something, classic hero's journey of somebody that, goes through change, overcomes a challenge. So there's all of these different options. We're just going to do the make up my own, which is just lets you use your own material and do whatever you want. Um, and this, a lot of this is geared towards as I said, social media and promotion either of products or just of audience engagement. So you'll see a lot of those prompts along the way. If you want to see these tips as you can watch through these videos. I'm just going to click into here where we are in the video interface. And so it's pretty straightforward. We are going to just add media here. So we're going to click on here and we're going to start with adding video. And let me see. Let's see. So I just clicked on the add new video link and it gave me, it opened my Finder window so I can look at the videos that I have. And so I have a couple of videos that I downloaded and I'm going to open this one. And it gives me an option to choose up to uh, 30 seconds of this video. And so this is a video that is talking about like if there were visitors from outer space, what would they find? They would come into the world. So this intro is just about 30 seconds here. So I'm going to start it right about here. I'm just dragging over the what I want it to take in. So right now I have it to the maximum 30 seconds, but I can pull it in a little bit. I don't really want that part. I want it to be just like right there. So let's do that and just see how. Maybe I can drag this side out a little bit. And I think it goes a little bit longer. So I wanted to say human beings. It comes right after that, I think. So um, let's just add that. It goes a little bit slow adding these clips, especially when you have a longer piece that you're working with. Let's see how this is now. So, okay, so I'm going to show you there over on the side here. I just need to drag this out of the way. So it has music that you can have automatically added in or not. So if you click on music, right now music is on, and this is the wandering guitar. You can choose a lot of these that come with it. And it's, oops. It adds music to it, or you could upload your own. Let's turn that off for now since this already has some sound. You can record into it. I clicked on the microphone, but I'm not actually going to do that right now. Um, okay, so then we can add a new um, clip if we want. So let's add a new clip, and I have another video. We could go back to that video and we could pull in other sections. We could either do another 30-second consecutively, or if there was another part in it that we wanted, um, let's go back to that. Actually, let's try this other one. This one called "Out of the World." It's some kind of GM advertisement, but it has some really interesting, weird stuff in it. So let's just see what it's at the beginning. Like, I kind of like that part right there. And then it gets into this advertisement, but so I don't really want that. But let's add this little clip. And then we're just going to say save. You could also add still images if you wanted to and make this more of a slideshow. So now we can look at how it is from the beginning. And that got cut off a little bit on the first. I could go back and try to change that if I wanted. So then you see that there's the slide at the end. So if you wanted to, there's a lot of things that you could do. I could go and adjust these. I could add more slides. Um, there are different themes you could use behind if you wanted to. You can resize to a widescreen or a square. And then you can also, if you wanted to, you could also add text. And when you do this, it automatically gives you the option to add a title in text, or to add. You could do a split screen that gives you a different option, and you could put in a video in here. So you could just add a caption, and I believe that you could do this on top of a screen, on top of a slide that's already there. So if you wanted to do a caption for a video that was there, that's how you would do that. So you could just do something like that, or you could do on the end, you could do this could be your credit, something like that. So you just you could do something like that, and then you could always change this. This gives you the option to make it smaller or bigger. So there's some limitations when we get into the graphic design. We can do more with that. So um, this is a very simple video that I've just made. It would, we could definitely do some tweaking and adjusting. I would want to trim this little part right here at the end. You could make this shorter. You could make more come in at the same time. It's really just intended, this software, to string together different clips or different still videos, though. It's not intended to do anything very complicated with layers and that sort of thing. But once you have something that you like, um, you can either share it, which will give you a link, a URL that you can publish it on, that you can just share on social media, or you can download it and then you can upload something like that, or actually save it. So those, it's nice that it has both of those options. I'm just going to close this right now because we don't really need to do that. So I'm going to go back to our home page. And then I just want to talk about a couple of different options we could do. So you see these different posts, you see collages, Instagram post. Um, let's just look at something like that. So you'll see that this gives you some templates that you can just use and alter. Some of them, when you click on them, you can create from them directly and change the text or something like that. Some of them you have to upgrade in order to use. So some of them are available for free. You can see when they have the little tag on them that you need to upgrade to use them. You can also just bring in your own photos. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to upload one of the photos that I got. And some of the photos, when you download them from the free sources, some of them are smaller images, and then you have to pay more in order to upgrade it higher. So let's just see. I just pulled in some different images. So I like that. Actually, I want to, before I do this one, because this is a different shape than the one that I have, I'm going to put a background on. So you can choose a background. I'm just going to try this one. So I'm going to create a background, and then you can just use the corners to drag to fill in the whole space that you have. So I'm going to put that as a background, and then I'm going to choose the photo that I had. I like that photo, so I'm just going to choose that one. And you can drag the corners again if you want to make sure that it doesn't get distorted. Just click on the shift key when you're doing it so that it keeps the aspect ratio the same. And I'm just going to drag this over to the side. I'll leave a little bit of that background above it and below. And then I just want to add some text. So I'm going to do text here. And these are different text templates that you could use that have different shapes and stuff like that. So that's an option. I'm just going to do add your text. I'm going to say hello. And this is right here. I'm going to just, again, shift and click, move it over. If I come up here now, I can try out different fonts. So just see what we think of different fonts, kind of like that one, maybe just bold instead of, yeah, I like that. I want to change the color of it too. So I'll click here and I can, let me come out of the fonts and just click on the color. There's a little, you can either use these palettes that are available, change down here, or I can use this eyedropper and pick something from the image. So I'm going to go and just get this blue from the image here and use that. And then I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So I like that pretty well. There's also an option that I could go here and get different shapes. So if I wanted to do something to have it match this UFO, I could do something like this, and then I could pull it up here and then stretch it out so that it doesn't quite fit this. You can't exactly customize it, but you can get um, you can get some of these shapes. So I don't know if that's exactly what I want, but that's an option that you could play around with. Um, there's a few different ones in there too. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I like that pretty well. And so when I'm done, um, again, you can just share it this way on the web, or I like to just download it and save it and share it myself. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. As you can see, there is the Adobe Spark watermark. So that's something that um, that's a limitation. I'm going to go back to home. I'm just going to do one more photo collage just to show a couple of different ideas. So um, this has some images that you can choose from here. These are all available for free that you can use. You can also upload your photos. So I'm going to just choose some of these ones that I have here. See what I got. Let's see what happens when I search alien in here and see if there's any that come up in their search. It doesn't look like anything in particular is, but we can see what they have here that we might want to add anyway. It's just a matter of scrolling through. But I think maybe those, and then let's see if I want to add one or two more. Let's add that one too. And so then I'm just going to say next. And so you have the option to do this as a large poster, a landscape, something specifically for social media. Let's do this as a Facebook post this time. And so this automatically creates a collage here. You have these resizing tools, so you can drag it and adjust. You can move things around within them if you want. You can kind of swap them that way. So there's a lot to play with. There are also other collage templates you can use. Um, but this is just a really easy way to just get a collage right away that you can play with. And then once again, if you wanted to add text to this, you could either use one of these um, pre-formatted ones, um, or you can just add your own. So if I use this pre-formatted one, um, I don't think that one quite works. So let's just X that out. Let's use our own. And then let's just say, welcome to Earth. And we can decide where we want to do it. We can have it just here in this box, we could drag it out so that it was something that went across the top. I kind of like it in this open part with the sky. I'll just move it around, just dragging it a little bit. And I'm actually not even needing to use the shift key. It just is retaining the aspect ratio by itself. So I kind of like this black that matches here, but if I wanted to change the color, again, I could go maybe it's automatically giving me some of these color palettes that it's drawing from the collage, which is pretty cool. I could use a picker too, but let's just see what this purple looks like. I kind of like that. And then I could change the font, of course, if I wanted, but um, it's pretty easy to just adjust and play with these. I think this one needs to be have a little bit more room for this. So let's do that. And we'll download that one and save it. And yeah, so these are just some of the different options you could use. There's a lot of different ones you can play with, but it's pretty easy to quickly just bring in media and make something with it. And it's especially suited for social media. Just going to go to the resources that I have available. And if you joined this workshop, then we'll send you a copy of this PowerPoint. And otherwise, if you're watching this on YouTube later, you're welcome to contact us and we can send you a copy of this. Otherwise, I put the whole URL so you can just find them without clicking on them. But there's a link to Adobe Spark. There's a link to the Pralinger archives I mentioned, a site for free images. DigCC Mixter is a place to get free, royalty-free music that you could add to your creations. And then we have our Creative Experience webpage that has more information about Creative Experience. And then finally, our YouTube channel where you can find our other workshops. And then the upcoming sessions we have, as I mentioned, will be on the third Wednesday of each month through May. And we're going to be announcing them closer to each one, but the one that we will be doing next month in February is a program called Bear Audio Editor, and it's an HTML-based audio editor that allows you to record and edit audio right in a browser. So we'll be working with that one next month. And are there any questions about this program or about ones coming up? And feel free to use the chat or just unmute yourself and speak if you have any questions.
When do you think you'll have this on the YouTube?
It takes us a little bit because we add closed captions to it. So I would say probably by next week we should have it up.
Okay.
Any other questions? Well, I hope that this was useful and just gives you something to play around with. And if there are any questions or any particular programs that you're interested in that you want to recommend that we look into for this series, please let me know too. Our contact information is on the last slide here, cexp@slpl.org. That goes to both Mary and I. And we welcome feedback and also suggestions for this. And Mary will be sending you a survey after this, so as well as this slideshow. So thank you both for joining. Thank you all for joining us today. Are there any more questions right now or before we stop recording?